Hi, E105. All right, welcome back. Week 5. You are so close to the end. This week is really all about compiling the different elements for Project 2, submitting your rough draft. You have a couple of major discussion boards this week. First, on Tuesday is the counter arguments discussion board, and then on Thursday will be your peer review discussion board for Project 2. The counter arguments discussion board is a little bit different because it is worth 20 points. So this is a little bit heavier than most of the other discussion boards. So make sure that your initial posts as well as your responses are meeting that point equivalency adequately, okay? A couple of different things. This discussion board focuses around the assignment in your textbook, pages 261 and then 480 through 484. So you'll want to make sure that you read those thoroughly before you start composing your discussion board. And again, we always recommend writing it into Microsoft Word or Google Documents and then copying and pasting into the actual discussion board thread in Blackboard, just in case anything goes wrong with Blackboard and it doesn't save. Those other two programs, as well as many others, will automatically save your documents for you. So the three questions or prompts that you will want to respond to for the counter arguments. The first one is to summarize your ideas about why it is beneficial to include counter arguments. How does doing so strengthen your argument? Number 2, discuss what you have picked as your issue, what your solution is, and what counter arguments you expect to include. Third, you want to explain how you effectively refute the counter arguments you've identified, drawing inspiration from the textbook's reading. You should discuss at least 2 strong counter arguments for your project. So again, make sure that you do have 2 of those and that you're also discussing kind of the ideology behind using counter arguments before you discuss the actual counter arguments themselves. All right, next, peer review. So this is going to be using the exact same form that we used in Project 1, except now it's going to apply for Project 2. So the same feedback that I gave in the Project 1 discussion board peer review worksheet will apply for Project 2. So I really strongly recommend going back and reviewing that to see how you can make sure that you're earning the full points, as well as providing responsible, kind, and beneficial feedback to your peers for Project 2. In the Writing Fellows notes for this week, I will go ahead and repost the YouTube video that is a screencast, kind of like a how to fill out that peer review worksheet, as well as the Google document that is an example of some of the peer review material for that worksheet, as well as just some tips and tricks on how to make sure you're answering each one of the prompts on there fully. Okay, lastly, submitting your Project 2 rough draft. So again, you'll submit your full rough draft. That will include first, your assessment cover letter, second, your text, and then third, your PSA or advocacy ad. So all 3 of those are considered your rough draft, and you need to submit all 3 of those to 2 places this week. First is the peer review discussion board, and second is the assignment link in the week 5 folder. This will allow the instructor to view and give feedback on each one of those elements, but you'll want to make sure you include all of those in both of those places. Lastly, Project 2 writing workshops. So your rough draft is due on Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we'll be hosting the Project 2 workshops. That way you'll go into Monday as a full day of revision, Tuesday, and then Tuesday night you'll want to have submitted your final draft, for Project 2. So with the writing workshops, those threads are already posted with the times and dates in the discussion boards for each of the groups. So once you are submitting your rough draft to the peer review as well as the assignment link, go ahead and sign up for one of the workshops if it'll fit into your schedule. We will be using Adobe Connect this time, which will be a little bit different than if you attended last time. So again, just make sure you read the instructions. They're pretty simple. Just make sure you are posting your ASU email address so that way I can send you the link, as well as instructions on how to use Adobe Connect if you've never used it before. Other than that, feel free to reach out to me or your instructor if you have any questions or as you're progressing through the week. Again, 2 big discussion boards. Project 2, you're going to finish that rough draft, so hopefully there's a lot of things going on for you this week. But again, as we start to layer those things in, hopefully that'll help you feel a little bit more at ease, as well as making sure that we are getting each one of those fully in by their due date. Best of luck this week, and I will see you next time. Thanks, guys.